Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video on English, and today is a very serious matter for me, and that's a bully. I have been a victimized of bullying. I have been bullied in my life between the age of 12 and 16, as well once when I was 10 years old, but that was solved by my brilliant and beautiful and handsome and amazing dad that I have, because he is a teacher himself, so he was anti-bullying, and he hates bullying. Even to this day he hates it. He tries everything he can do to stop it if it becomes clear to him that someone is bullied. But my journey as bullied started in my 6th grade, or when I was 12 years old. Here in Sweden, the school system is a bit different from the US and UK system looks like. Anyway, my first experience with being bullied was about a few months into the year of 6th grade. I think it was the second half or later part of the second half. It started to become clear that I was bullied, at least for me. I didn't know that I was talked behind my back or being called something like the names I was called at the time. Until then, when someone called me, "You big fat or whore," or slut, or whatever they want to call me. And since I have glasses since I was in 4th grade, when I was 10 years old, they called me names because I had glasses as well. And then 7th grade began, or I should say the year we began 7th year, we were 13 years old. And it was horrible, because we became a big class. From being 3 divided classes, we became one big class of 56 people in one class, and we were separated by groups and colors and everything like that too. But that was the year that the problem began, because in my second half of 6th grade I got my period, and with that the puberty began for me, really. And I started to go up in weight quite steadily. I went up in weight, and when I went out 9th grade, or when I was 16 years old, I was big. I was almost as big as I am to this day, because I have struggled ever since 7th grade with my weight, because I am very picky with my food, what I eat and what I don't want to eat. I don't give a damn about eating at all. My parents and my siblings has been amazing to let me do whatever I want, with some boundaries of course, but it's hard even to this day to keep those boundaries up. For example, my bully, or bullies as it was, many if not all in that class that I was with, most of them were stand-byers who just stand by while the person who was dominant in the bullying bullied me as well, another boy in my class, or another person who was boy. He doing amazing to this day. Like me, he still struggle with some things that happened to him, but that's his journey or story to tell, if he ever wants to tell, of course. But those who stood by, many of them, or few I should say, have come forward after all these years and contacted me on social media, or even when I met them on the town or somewhere, and told me, "I'm sorry that I didn't do anything." And those I can say I have forgiven, because they told me rather either in person or on text messages, PM from Facebook or Instagram or something like that. They told me their true sorrow because they didn't do anything because they were afraid of being victimized themselves as well. And I can understand that fear because I have seen so many documentaries, I have seen so many stories about people who has been bullied and chosen to take the other side of decision that I did, which was suicide. They decided to take their own life because of bullying. I didn't. I never thought of taking my own life during that time. Sure, I had them briefly because some days was very dark and very hard for me to take on, and the teachers did nothing when I told them. They were like these three apes that hold for their ears and mouth and eyes. Like, I see no evil, I hear no evil, I talk no evil. And that's what they did, and I hate them, most of them. I hate them for not taking action because of this. But I am doing good. I still struggle, I still have my dark days to this day when I'm 29 years old. It has been 13 years since I left that class that I went with, and I haven't seen many of them since then. And I'm quite happy that I don't have to see them anymore. Most of them, at least. Those who have said they are sorry for their part, or just standing by when it happened. You are amazing because you stood up and told me personally that you did something wrong, and I want to say I'm sorry. So you can be not offended about this at all. But those who haven't, you should feel very offended because I still to this day, I hate you, period. Because of what you did caused me to have a diagnosis at 22 years old of me, to have a diagnosis of depression. Because of what you did and a few other things that caused me to be diagnosed with depression at 22 years old. That's why I hate you, everyone who hasn't said I'm sorry. I have no heart or feeling for you. Whatever happens in your life, whether in is something amazingly happy or something tragic, I don't care. I have no care for you at all. You have to deal with that on your own, because I will not be a support for that at all. You can forget that. Because of what you did to me, you don't deserve any support or love from me. But since I have been diagnosed, I have my still dark days. I have still my light or happy days. My happy days, or the lighter days as I call them, is very much many more days than the dark days. My dark days are very few and far between. It usually happens on anniversary of someone's death or something tragic that happened in the world, like the terror attack in Stockholm for 2 years ago. That was a bombshell for me to see and watch and hear about, and all that stuff. The death of family members since 2012, the same year that I got my diagnosis with depression. But I have many happy days from I was 19 to now. When I was 19, my first sister, or the older sister of my sisters, who are identical twin sisters, she got married. Sadly, this marriage hasn't been happy, at least not the last few years. It wasn't happy, and they are in, I don't want to get in too much into that detail, but the marriage is over, per se. There are still some legal things that I can't get into and stuff like that, but they are not together, and they were married for 10 years, a little more than that even. That's all I can say about it. Then my other sister got married, I believe it's 8 years since they got married, and they're still going strong. They have 3 beautiful children. My other sister has three beautiful children as well. So I have 6 nieces and nephews in my life, who are the most amazing children in my life. I love them very much, and they are those 6 children are really my light of days. I really love to be with them when I can, of course, and they can, of course. And and then my brother and myself, we both are single still. But I truly hope that both me and my brother, and now my sister, finds new true love that will last forever, a new forever for us all when it happens. We don't know when it happens, but that is something that I can truly say I hope and truly hope for to happen. That's all I can say about it. Other light things is, well, I moved into my own apartment when I was 25, which is now soon to be 4 years. August 29th is the day for 4 years ago that I moved into this apartment that I live in still to this day. And I absolutely love this apartment. I love this area that I live in, and the people who lives here are amazing. They are mostly older people. I have few young ones like myself, or even younger than myself, but mostly it's elderly people, and they are amazing, and I have friends in them, or most of them who I met at least. I have friends in them, and I love them very much. So they are my light points in my life, that I have people that I can trust on and care for, not love, but care for. But I do love them because they are good people who truly cares about us who are much younger than them. And they absolutely love that you come and knock on the door or ring on the bell on the door and say, "Hi, do you want something? Do you want some help with something?" Or I could just say, "Hi, could I come in and we can talk about everything and nothing?" And that I have done. Last year when we had a summer fest or summer party with the whole area that I live in, I went home with the older lady who lives farther up in this building, because it's an 11-story building, and she lived in 9th floor, so 7th floor above me, because I'm 2nd floor. Anyway, I went home with her and I got to meet her beautiful, amazing cat, who instantly loved me and jumped up in my lap and started purring and biting on my fingers like a playful manner, not in a bad way. And that's it. I like most of the older people who lives here, and I also have fortune to have a few people who lives in this building that I live in as well. The second, or I should say this big building, we are divided by A and B, and I live in B, and there are person in the A story or flat that's a friends of mine or someone I can be close acquaintance with. And there are people even in A and B that my mom used to work with, and even my sister worked with. So it's amazing to have that too in my life. I don't feel alone anymore. I don't feel like I used to do during those years that I was bullied. So to you who is bullied, find someone, either it's being an adult, an older teenager, a sibling, parent of someone else's parents, whatever adult or older than you, that you can tell them what is going on and maybe get some help from them what to do, because in those times you are very helpless, and you stand there and knows nothing what I should do, really, when you stand there and being bullied. So my advice to you who are bullied, take contact with an adult, because you can go so wrong or go into the dark place you don't want to go, which is suicide. Because there are so many who takes their life because of being bullied, even to this day. The statistic over the world is horrendous and frightening to even read. I get goosebumps just talking about it. So do something. If not you, who should? Or who should help you? If you don't open your mouth and say, I'm being bullied, help me, what should I do? And I should say to you who are being bullied and listen on this video right now and hear this advice, I should say this too. In the info box down below this video, you have my contact information. You can write me an email on the email that I have written down below. You can PM me on Facebook, or not Facebook, but Instagram or Twitter. And everything you tell me is being kept between you and me. Because only time I will break that confidence is when you say, I want to kill myself, or you say you can't do it anymore because you feel there's no hope. Then I will break the silence and take contact with either police in your country, or find your family members and tell them. And this is not a threat whatsoever. I just tell you, if you feel it is a life and death situation, that you are on the way to take that step to take your own life, I will break the silence and find out who you are and tell your parents or whoever is important in your life, and tell them what is going on. Because that's the only time I will break the silence between us, you and I, between. Because that is not okay. I don't want to find out that you have killed yourself because of whatever is going on. And that's reason is because in my high school, the kind of high school I went with, in my third year before I graduated from high school, there was a boy who was a year younger in 2nd grade of high school, or should I say 11th grade. He took his own life because of bullying, and that bullying was because of his classmate he went with at that school. And that's just horrible. I remember I started to cry because that's something you don't want to hear whatsoever any time in your life. And suicide, all those things with suicide is quite near my heart, because that's not only suicide I have behind me or behind my story. The second suicide I have heard about and found out about is in my family. Someone's parent took their own life because I don't know the reasoning behind, and I don't really want to know either, because it's not my business to know. All I know is that parent took their own life because of something, and that's too horrible, because just I think 2 years after that, that person's grandma died, my aunt. And that's something I can take in my video that I speak about ghosts and demons in my life, because that is something I have experienced. And that should be in my next video, so I hope you can stay on and I can grow this video, this channel with many more subscribers. So if you are new and haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. You can click on the red button next to my name and click on the bell, because you can get notification when I do the next video, upload next video rather. And until next time, I hope and I pray that no one else takes their own life because of bullying, because that's just horrible, that someone has to lose their life because of being bullied, and the bullies don't want to take responsibility because of what they did to this person. Many bullies don't do that because they are scared, or they just don't feel, because they have no emotion about it, and that's so fucking wrong. Excuse my F-bombs, but this is a subject that makes me pissed off. And I have a family member that has been bullied, and she has been on ways to take her own life, but because of what happened with someone in her family, she decided not to. And having me in her life has also helped a lot to not take that decision, because she could ring me quite a lot during the time she was in high school, which was just recently. She graduated 1 year later because of the bullying. Anyway, she would call me a lot, and she would be crying or screaming or something like that in the phone, and I would take all my time to calm this person down and tell her that you need to do something. You can't let it go on. If you not want to let your mom know or let my dad know, I will be there. I could let go of everything and take myself to that school where she went, and I could be my father's in that step, because bullying makes me so fucking pissed off to this day, and I hope it will end very soon, if not today. So until next video, I hope you will do okay, and if you have any questions, or a story to tell or whatever, you can contact me on the what stands on the info box down below, whether it be in Twitter, Instagram, or my email that stands down below in the info box. You're welcome to do so, because I will check that email quite often. I will try at least to do it quite often, so I don't miss anyone or miss anyone's story or whatever they want to tell me, because I will answer on your emails. And if you want to be mentioned in a video about whatever you are telling me or something like that, I will do it, but only when you give your approval. And I won't say your name unless you approve me saying it in my videos. I won't say anything about your email if you don't want to, because that is just between you and I. So don't be worried, I won't mention it unless it comes up in conversation I have with the camera or with you viewers. And I will tell this person, I may say something about it, what you've been through in my videos, and I hope you will be okay with that. Now you know, I will say it. I have said it in this video. I will say something about your story, or about something that you mention in your email, or PMs or DMs to me on Instagram and Twitter, or in my email. Only when you give your approval, that's when I will say your name and what you have been through. But before then, that's a big tight-lipped me. So you have my promise about that. So with that said, I say goodbye, and I hope you will do okay until next time. Bye!